The news that has been kind of shocking everybody, and if you have social media, you know exactly what I'm talking about, is Roe v. Wade that happened on Friday. So those of you that don't know, this is the Supreme Court that they basically reversed, they reversed what they did in 1973, which was that from the federal government, they protected abortion, right? And so what they did is not that they said that it was illegal. What they did is they left it for the states to decide. So each state gets to decide what they're going to do. And our state, the state of Texas, had already decided what they were going to do. And so they introduced a heartbeat bill. And so you can look that up. But basically it says that at about 8 weeks, when the baby has a heartbeat, you can no longer have an abortion, or else you go to jail for like 99 years. The doctor does, okay? And they get fined and all kinds of stuff. And then they stipulated some reasons as to why you could, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But I know that it's a very controversial subject. I've been watching a lot of the social media. I've been reading, and I've been trying to get more information because I wanted to bring you not a point of view, and also not an attack or not a ha we got you kind of celebrate in somebody's face. I wanted to bring word of wisdom, and I wanted you to know what our church, where our foundation is. And at church, we believe that we celebrate life. The word of the Lord came to me and said, before I formed you in your womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Before you were even born, I formed you in the womb. God is intentional about our future and our plans before our little fingers get made. Psalms 22:10 says, I was thrust into your arms at birth. You have been my God from the moment I was born. And then Psalm 129, verse 13 through 19 says, you made all the delicate inner parts of my body, and you knit me together in my mother's womb. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. You watched me as I was formed in utter succulence, as I was woven together in the darkness of the womb. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed. Before I was even born and had my first cry as a baby, you were already forming my future. If God cares about us and gives us purpose before we are born, then He certainly cares about us and gives us purpose as we are being formed in the womb. God has a purpose for us, and this decision not only stops, to some degree, the killing of the innocent. Last couple of weeks, or last week, I talked about how, we had the people of Israel going into the promised land. We've talked about going into the promised land, and one of the reasons why, in some cases, God ordered that He destroy everybody. Like in Jericho, it said everybody would be destroyed, was because they served these idols, and they had the practice of giving their children as sacrifice. It is time for our church to rise up in love and action and care for everyone. There is a phrase that somebody said. It says that as Christians, we must care from the womb to the tomb. Let me tell you, I saw some Christians that were posting on social media not caring about those around us. And let me tell you why. Because some of their things that were being posted were just so hateful and so ugly. And I started to think, my goodness, this person says they're a Christian, but if I just took this one post all along by itself, I wouldn't be able to tell. Either for or against. We need to not just care about life, but care about the living. And so it's time for our church to really care. We can't say that we're fighting for life or that we are pro-life, but then not care about the widows, and then not care about the orphans, or not care about the refugees, not feed the hungry, not dress the naked, not love on the hateful, not stand up for injustice, not be merciful, and not make a difference. We can't say we're Christians and not make a difference in this world. And let me tell you that in James 3 verse 9, it says, with the tongues we praise our Lord and Father, but with it we curse human beings who have been made in the likeness of God. And it says, out of the same mouth that comes praise, comes curse. And then we are rebuked. It says, brothers and sisters, this should not be. This should not be. We're called to love.